Good afternoon. Welcome to 2015 MRMW Day 1 conference. My name is Colin Wong. I'm the Managing Director of Survey Analytics Asia Pacific. I got with me here today Denise Brien for AOL. Denise is Senior Director of Consumer Research and Analytics. Denise, welcome.
Thank you very much.
So obviously, I guess you've been to MRMW conference before, especially last year, if I remember correctly. So in Asia, this is the third year that MRMW is actually going on. So in your opinion, tell me, what is the biggest difference that, when you look at two different markets, between Asia Pacific and the US itself,
Yes.
in terms of what AOL is doing?
Oh, well, what AOL is doing?
Yes, yeah.
Well, I mean, obviously AOL is a media publishing brand, a digital media publishing brand, so we're developing brands that we are putting in front of audiences where they are. AOL right now is primarily in the US, but with our Huffington Post brand, we're obviously expanding across the globe, and we've got numerous outposts of the Huffington Post brand.
Yep. So what is your expectation before you actually come to this conference here? Knowing that you probably have seen the US version before, Asia will be probably a little bit different because of a cultural difference, I guess.
We came in here with a study that was US based only, and obviously that was something that we wanted to make sure that what we talked about here really translated and seemed relevant, even though we weren't talking about Asian markets. So that was something that we went into this really thinking through: what can we share? How can we make sure that we're letting everyone know that we're talking about the US market, but what translates? I think for me, one of the things that we're just aware of in the US is there's places where the US really lags Asian culture in terms of the real use of the smartphone. But on the other hand, people have come up to me after the presentation and actually said that the Asian market actually lags in many ways in digital video and digital advertising spend. So that was actually something interesting for me to learn. I hadn't realized that previously. So again, it sounds to me like people were able to actually take something away, because one of the things we talk about in the US is there's many behaviors that our consumers are lagging on. But I think that people in the audience were perhaps able to also learn something that in places where the Asian consumer might be lagging in terms of what they experience on mobile.
Great to hear that our audience are actually learning something from what you guys are actually providing. So I'm going to actually turn it around, and for yourself, as a participant of the conference, what would be the one key learning that actually for Denise to take away from this conference?
Well, what's really interesting to me, that this research conference has had actually much more research on research than many of the other conferences I go to. So it's really interesting. Many of the presentations have been basically about how to do research right on mobile devices. I think that we will go back, and by the way, this is nothing groundbreaking, but you do know that as researchers we have a zest for this zest to learn more information, and perhaps we sometimes abuse the mobile medium. Everything that we've all been talking about is this is a very personalized device, that you have to be really careful in terms of the consumer experience with consumers when you're doing anything on mobile, whether it's video or surveys. So a big takeaway for me will be to go back and really think through how are we using mobile as a medium in survey research, which we're using a ton, but just make sure that we're doing it in a way that really takes advantage of the device, but really also makes a good experience for people who are taking surveys on that device. It seems like everyone's talking about that, and I'm hearing it loud and clear.
Absolutely, absolutely. I completely agree with you. I mean, exactly. So, Denise, thank you very much for your time today. It's a pleasure meeting you.
Nice to
and we hope you enjoy the rest of the day and tomorrow's conference as well.
Okay, great.
Thank you very much.
Thank you very much.